A Witness of the End Times by Anonymous. If you have not read the first book, How to Have Your Second Comforter, please do not read further or listen further. The information contained in this short book contains mysteries that will not be helpful for the reader who struggles with the principles contained in the first book. If you have read the first book and are comfortable, next read A Witness of the Heavenly Realm. What you are about to read is only meant for those who will awake and arise to join among those who will redeem Israel in preparation for the Lord's coming. Vision of destruction. The day I finally came to the Lord and had my second comforter was something I will never forget. The following text is what I was shown just before I came to him, a short vision of the end of times. The Lord wanted me to understand that time is short. If you are to listen to this audio, be careful who you share this audio with. For it is only for the people that are truly meant to listen to this and to be the gatherers and servants of the Lord. It's not for the faint-hearted or for the average person. I then saw what seemed like a crescent moon. It was a waning moon right before new moon. Then in my mind I saw a blood moon. I wondered what it meant. I suddenly began to see images in my mind. I saw a nuclear explosion, followed by more of them. I could see the large plume, followed by the great devastation below, as if I was standing upon the ground as the blast washed over the buildings. I was shown that the nuclear was limited, but that the country broke down and there was great rioting and war. I saw what looked like Muslim men yelling in the streets. I think it was on the other side of the world. I saw a large firebolt from space hit the northern hemisphere and caused huge devastation upon the world with earthquakes, tidal waves, and smoke. I saw a vision of a desolate place on earth, a young girl broken and sick about 11 years old. I held her, blessed her, and brought her to safety. I saw myself preaching repentance, baptizing, giving the Holy Ghost by the laying on of hands, and bringing them to safety either by guiding them or taking them directly to Zion. About prophecy. I asked the Lord about the times of these prophecies. The Lord said he will not give exact dates. I will be shown events, and sometimes they will coincide with signs in the heavens and upon the earth. But I will not know the day nor the hour. Such things are not to be given. This I was taught recently, and it seems to be important counsel. Earlier in the year, I thought I had received a revelation regarding where my young son had lost his glasses. I remember seeing in my mind various places. When I got to my room, I had a strong feeling it was there, but I didn't find them, and a few days later, they showed up in the car. Why did I get an incorrect answer? The Lord said I should slow down. I should wait until I see the glasses clearly, and not just jump to a conclusion. This was helpful. Fall of Babylon. I asked the Lord what would happen, and I saw another vision. The financial markets continued to slide, and then there was a huge collapse, which was devastating to the country. That year shall be the beginning of the end of America as we know it, and then there will be a terrible war and the rise of Zion before the great calamities. Today, as I was about to the Lord, I had the thought to stop and go to the glass room above the earth. I don't know what else to call it. I was told it was the exceedingly high mountain that the prophets spoke about. So I was there looking down upon the world from above the atmosphere. I saw Melech enter the room again, and we exchanged hellos and greetings. I saw that I was curious about this room and what he could tell me. I said that it was a starting point to receive. He said that it was a starting point to receive prophecy and to learn. I was told I could ask anything. I felt a desire to learn more about the calamities that were to come. I wanted to know where the nuclear bombs would go off, and I was shown them in this order. Decipher them as the Spirit directs. Also, there would be detonations above the atmosphere, which would shut down everything in America. About this time, a plague begins to spread throughout the land. Many believe it is man-made. I saw that before the mountain asteroid hits the Earth in the northern part, there would be many smaller asteroids impact the Earth, and it would bring great fear. The residents in Utah would be trying to make life as comfortable as possible when these disasters would strike. This is when the great earthquake will rock the land and cause severe flooding. The impact of the great asteroid is what will trigger these horrendous earthquakes throughout the globe. I saw the Chinese invade from the west and the Russians from the east before the earthquake happens. The Chinese and Russians' invasion is under the guise of peacekeepers, but the people will not trust them. There will be many camps and executions. They will try to take the first Zion, but will decide it's not worth the effort after repeated attempts. They will return or stop their conquest plans when the disasters increase. I asked if I could learn about what is going on in the world or what will come to pass. As I would ask, the visions would open up in my mind and I could hear Melek speaking to me. It will be in the fall, it will cause rioting and race rioting, and the government will be suspended as martial law is enacted. Things will not completely collapse. The United States will seem to be hanging on, and then it gets worse. I was told Shasaphat is the Antichrist. This is the first time this has been shown to me. He would gain more power after he appears to be weakened. Galem is the false prophet, and Bashubu will be the beast that leads that kingdom for a while. These men are all sons of perdition, and there are thousands of sons of perdition who have and are walking this earth. There are also as many sons of light who are awakening, and will take their place among the gatherers. I asked about the flooding that is supposed to occur in Utah Valley and in Salt Lake, and again saw that this was caused by the large asteroid that will hit the northern hemisphere. There will be many earthquakes around the world. Water was pushed up all around the valley, and it looked like some of those pictures you see when the Mississippi oversteps its bounds. There will be many people who die. The water rushes up like a tsunami and goes high, almost to the bench of the mountains, then begins to subside again. This will be such a huge disaster, and the entire world will be reeling from disasters. I saw Salt Lake City in ruin and many bodies. I said goodbye to the Lord and was returning when I had a sudden idea to stop at the glass room that I had been to before. I came and Melek was there. He said, "What are you doing here?" He was smiling. "You just had the best time with the Lord and you want to come here?" I said I wanted to see him. I held Melek's arm and squeezed his hand. I asked if I could come, ask questions about what was going on in the world now. He said, yes. I asked about the temple. He said it will be desecrated by wicked people. The valley will be destroyed by water, but the adversary will flood the hearts of men, and only those who are under the Lord's protection will have any promise. The protection is his seal, or the gift of the Holy Ghost, for those who have repented. I said goodbye to the Lord, and as I was descending, I stopped at the room overlooking the earth. I saw Melek again and asked if I could ask some more questions. He has a dry sense of humor. I asked again about what was happening with the selection. I was told that Trump will get the nomination and win the presidency. Edit. This is a setup, and I wasn't sure, but it seemed that Trump made the concession to appease the GOP. The country will be in chaos with the race rioting and declining economy and markets. We have peace for a space of time after, but then it gets dangerous. This is what I saw. I hope I'm not up in the night. I actually asked Melek about this. I expressed my concern about prophesying, and he said, "It's okay, I'll see in time. I don't have to be telling everyone, so I can relax." I asked about Trump again and learned some new things. The election following up to, during, and after will be filled with many racial riots and violent attacks by anti-Trump protesters. Trump will win, edit, in a way that will be seen as a conspiracy by many. The market will drop in the edit, and it will be the most we've ever seen. Investors will be frantic. The following year will plug along as Americans are driven by fear. A great suffering of our economy and morale will flood the country. After Adam on Diamond, the world will enter a new phase of upheaval. I wanted to know more about the destructions to come upon the world, the United States, and abroad. I am concerned and worried for the good and innocent people who will be harmed. First, the Lord showed me in the fast-sweeping vision how the country would continue to decline. The economy and rioting of angry protesters will get worse. When the U.S. is attacked, it will stop us all in our tracks, and the infrastructure of the U.S. will collapse almost immediately. The carnage and devastation caused by angry mobs will rival the nuclear attacks. Foreign armies will not need to do much, but sit and watch most cities and communities destroy themselves. There will be pestilence and disease and all manner of violence, brother against brother and fathers against sons and families against families. I asked the Lord, what about the children and the innocent? Can I not help them? The Lord said that the angels will be involved in helping those who must be saved. By them many of the gatherers will have been sealed, and they will go forth and bring these to Zion. It will be known by many that the only safety and refuge is the mountains of the west. It will be during this time that I will see the reality of my vision, where I saved the 11-year-old girl. I saw these things got really ugly throughout the world after America was neutralized. Radical Islam stretched forth his ugly arm, and many countries fell to the kingdom of the beast. Alliances made between the tiger and the bear, and others with Islam, and there will be a great war and devastation. All people are commanded to worship Islam or be killed and tortured, similar to what ISIS is doing in the Middle East. Many pray day and night for the Lord to deliver them, which happens as the gatherers are sent. I saw that a great religious leader makes alliances with these Islamic rulers and declares the beginning of a new world religion, more of a unified religion of peace where Christianity merges with Islam. He changes many of the ways of the church and assigns other rulers to assist him. I was shown in a previous vision that edit, wears the title Antichrist by those who know his true identity. I asked the Lord if I would need my storage, and he told me quickly that I would share with others and use some of it, but that our needs would be met. It didn't seem to be a big deal. What about the brothers up north? What will happen with them? They will create a refuge and a stake in Zion. They will do much good in helping others as the calamities roll forth and will be able to participate in the gathering. I asked the Lord if there was any hope for the United States. He said there was not. It will fail. It is past the point of return. A new government will rise from its ashes, which shall be Zion. I was very sad in my heart as I witnessed these things. Lord, what about the innocent and those who cannot protect themselves? The children that suffer and die under these evil beings. The Lord said that vengeance is mine. He said that when the servants go forth, they shall bind up the brokenhearted and heal them. He said that the suffering we endure in this life strengthens us for eternity. So though we are pained for a short moment, our joy will be full. All these things are in his hands, and he judges mercifully and with great healing. I had made a list of questions I wanted to ask the Lord. I began by thanking him for the great blessings. I have seen the exact fulfillment of prophecies given to me over the year, but some have not come to pass. I asked the Lord, why is that the case? Why did things not happen as I was told, or as least thought I was told? The Lord said, the time is not as important as the event. The Lord made it clear to me that everything I have been shown will occur with absolute accuracy, but that our minds tend to place a time on these events, and often we stumble. I was told not to do that, but that I would know by the event or whether it was soon and how soon. All his times are appointed, and there are witnesses in the heavens and upon the earth. I must be patient in this thing. This was a great blessing and understanding. Perhaps this has something to do with what the Lord meant when he said, within a short time, I would understand how things work. I asked, will the nuclear bombs go off within hours of each other? I'm reminded of the counsel regarding measuring time, that is according to the earth and heavens. I was told that the last would come the following day. What are the symptoms of the plague? This will come before the great destructions. It will mostly affect the urban city areas, but will spread throughout the United States, including Salt Lake City. It will be similar to Ebola, starting with a fever, followed by the breakdown of the internal organs. Bruises seem to appear on the hand, arms, and face and spread throughout the body. In the end, the eyes and tongue appeared to rot. I then saw the president standing in front of Capitol Hill. Some fire was smoldering under his foot, and a rooster was walking away. It was provocative. I don't know if there was more, but the Lord said I would know later. I was with the Lord again at the throne. I asked about Edit. What is going to happen now? The Lord said that it would appear as natural causes. Some will think otherwise. There will be civil unrest. He will be away. It seems too confusing to me. The Lord said not to worry. There is some time. It is very unclear. All the Lord wants me to do is focus on the event. How will the war start that will set off the chain of events that lead to the end of times? The Lord was very matter-of-fact, and I heard him speak as a vision rolled across my view. First, there is an event involving the fox. Something happens which provokes the United States and another country to attack. This leads to destruction of satellites, followed by a quick buildup of our military in that part of the world. Our navy is decimated, the bear becomes involved, and the tiger secures its position in the Middle East and Europe. From this point, Jerusalem begins to see the calamities of war and famine that have been prophesied. I was again with the Lord at the throne. I thanked him for his mercy upon me. I felt tears in my eyes. I asked if all was well. He said that my job is keep holiness around me. What am I supposed to know? I asked. I then began to see a series of visions, which taught me about things that are shortly to come to pass. Of course, I have no idea their time frames, even though I started to presume during the vision and was reminded not to do that. I saw that the battle against good would escalate. The tensions in the country would rise, leading to more violence from activists. It will appear as if civil war is about to break. Melek said that the vision of the president stomping on the smoldering earth as the rooster walks away is a reference to winning the battle over these malcontents, but it will be short-lived. His death will be considered a conspiracy. There will be an escalation of attacks by groups associated with ISIS in America, an attack at a large football game, another elementary school, and other mass shootings. Americans' patience will run thin. The plague will not become full swing until after the war begins, which will claim millions of lives. The full scope of the world war will not occur until the U.S. is broken and the kingdom of the beast lays siege against Israel. I saw an earthquake in California, which will cause wide damage, but it is not the main quake. I also saw a volcano erupt in the northwest of the U.S. It kills many, but it is like Mount St. Helens, not Vesuvius, I think. I hugged the Lord and expressed my love for him. I then went to the room above the earth and talked with Melek for a short while. I wanted to understand more clearly what is coming. I was shown that at some point that the U.S. will organize an attack that will cause many deaths as war opens up there. After this, the U.S. will be attacked and our market will collapse. The country will be in disarray, which will lead to much of what I was shown. But between now and this war, there will be some of the terrorist attacks I was shown in my last visit. The vision I had a couple of years ago with the blood moon and crescent moon was a reference to Islam and the rise of their bloody war. Somehow, they are connected to the carnage that will sweep the earth. Before I came to the Lord, he told me to relax and prepare to be shown a vision. I was flying behind a great white eagle. It was all white, and I'm not sure it was an eagle. We were high in the sky, and it turned and perched upon a ledge of a mountain. I stood beside the great bird. As we looked over a great valley, the Lord said, "What do you see?" As I looked, I saw a ledge, and then a grotto in the side of the ledge. Upon the ledge were many carcasses decomposing. I saw children hiding deep inside the grotto. I did not understand what it meant. Then I was in a city. It seemed to be New York during the day. I saw myself flying like a bird, looking at the tall buildings and windows. I wondered why I was looking at this. The thought came to me how the carcasses were as some of the people, and the children knew not what to do. I thought I was near Wall Street and wondered about the market situation.